Okay, so this is part 2 of wrapping my hands. And basically this is after a while, after training for about 6 months or 8 months, and I really started focusing on boxing and my striking. Next thing I know, my knuckles are permanently bruised. I mean, they've been bruised for 2 months. So, and it was becoming a problem. I had to come up with a better way to protect my hands. And by the way, I'm wearing 16-ounce gloves. I'm already wearing the most, padded glove, that you can really find as far as I know. Something I didn't mention in the first video: when you start wrapping, okay, I'm gonna hide my face now. When you start wrapping, most of the hand wraps will have a thing on here that says this side down or something like that, and that's handy. If yours doesn't have a label, then get a marker and write this side down or this side up, because when you're done wrapping, it's annoying if the Velcro's on the wrong side because you started the wrong way. I didn't re-roll my wraps. I'm actually going from loose wraps. I think it's a lot easier to start with your wraps rolled, personally, especially when you're new, especially with one hand. Instead of putting my finger in the loop, I don't even use the loop. I just put the wrap, I put the starting point right there, and I'm going to hold it with my thumb, and then I'm going to bring it across the back of my hand, and I'm actually going to fold it just like that and bring it back up again, and then I'm going to hold it with my thumb again. This is hard to do. It keeps wanting to fall out of your hand and whatever, but the idea is you're getting a measurement for how wide this should be. It should cover all the way across the back of your knuckles. I do this 3 times. So after I get the measurement, I usually don't put it on my hand anymore, and I just do it like this. And I'll fold it, make sure the edges are all even, and I'll fold it one more time, get the edges even, and I'll fold it one more time, get the edges even. Actually, I'm just going to fold it like that. Okay, so I have 2 complete loops, but actually that ends up making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. So there's actually 5 layers of wrap that's going to be on top of my knuckle. Getting it started is the hard part. You'll notice again that the beginning part is still in the beginning part. This is because you kind of have to let go with your thumb. And, oops, somehow get it again like that. There, I got around once, and then I'll go around one more time. This is really just to hold this wad of wrapping in place. So now I've got 7 layers going across my knuckles, but I've only got 2 inside my palm. So basically I didn't waste a bunch of wrap, and because if I tried to get 7 layers on the back of my knuckles to protect my knuckles, well, then I would have 7 layers on the inside, and I'd have this massive wad of wraps on the inside of my hands, and that would be very uncomfortable for me. Okay, so what I do next, and this is again something I kind of discovered on my own, as I'm wrapping across the back of my hand now, I sort of, sorry, like I said, it's easier if your wraps are rolled up. I sort of work my way back, because I found that to keep this from sliding back and exposing the knuckles, it helped if I would wrap it like this. I don't know if you can see what's happening, but you see there's a huge wad. You see the bulky part of the padding right there over the knuckles. So instead of just wrapping it again on top like that, what I'm doing is I'm going behind it and sort of holding it forward, holding it towards the fingers. So this next wrap is basically keeping it from sliding back so easily. Then I'm going to go around one more time, and this time I'm going across the back of the hand. Again, I always go across the back of the hand to transition down to my wrist, and I'll go around my wrist. Usually I go around 3 times, and we're supposed to be making fists in between, so you know that you're not overdoing it. Go around my wrist 2 or 3 times. This also has the effect of locking all this in place. Once you go around here 2 or 3 times, none of this can get loose now. It's going to stay tight, you know. There's nothing more annoying than the wraps getting loose on underneath where you can't get to it, you know. So now I'll start going. I got the twisted thing here. Okay. So now I'm going to start going between my fingers. So just like I showed before, I'm going to go up the back of the hand. I'm going to try and do it with no wrinkles, and in between these two fingers, just like that. And across the back of the hand, always I exit through the knuckle, or through the thumb, sorry. Always come out through the thumb. Again, now I want to go in between those two fingers. Make a fist, you know, make sure it's not too tight across the back of my hand. Go around, and I only went around, you know, I didn't go all the way around, I just went across the back of the hand, up to that finger, in between, and again, I went out. I'm going to come back around through the thumb side, always across the back of the hand. Again, I'm not wrapping my thumb. If you want to wrap your thumb, probably you should wrap your thumb, because like I said, everybody else wraps their thumb, but I never saw the utility of it. So across the back of the hand down to the wrist, and now we just finish it up by going around the wrist until you run out of wrap. And if you notice, I managed to still have enough left over to wrap my wrist pretty good. I would like to see a little bit more left over than that, but it's enough, because my wrist is this is a very I don't know, it's very solid. You know, I can if I relax this wrist, you see it just hangs down like that. There's no support, but I'm completely relaxed, and you see it's supporting itself, but it's not tight. It's not too tight. There's a lot of support right here, keeping my wrist in that right position, the knuckle directly behind the wrist. That should be in line. You shouldn't look like this, and you shouldn't look like that. You're not punching with your fingers. You're punching with your knuckles, right? So that should be right in line with your wrist. And I have a ton of padding now on my knuckles. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a ton of padding on my knuckles. And it's really right there on my knuckles. It's not on the back of my hand. But a lot of people, when they're wrapping their hands, when they're done, they have layers of wraps going this way. And of course, if you did that, it's just going to slide back. There's nothing holding it down. So I think it's important that you finish your wrapping by going through the fingers like I showed. That's it. What you see professional fighters doing before a fight, you'll see they're usually using tape, or even before they work out. What they'll do is they'll take gauze, and they'll make a big old wad of gauze like that, and then they just put it on the back of their hand, on their knuckles, and they tape it down. And then they put wraps on top of that. I'm too cheap to use a roll of gauze every time I go to the gym, and tape and all that, so this seems to work just fine. If you have any questions, I don't know, I guess you can post them, but chances are I'm not going to answer, because I don't really spend much time looking at my YouTube videos. I hope it was of some use. I would recommend you watch other popular videos on wrapping your hands, and you know, between what I'm saying, what other people are saying, you can discover what's best for you, and from your own experience, you'll discover what's best for you. Thank you. Bye. So I just finished my video on wrapping your hands, and I realized that I wasn't wearing my gym shirt. So here it is. Muay Thai Association of the Philippines, MAP. As far as I know, it's the best Muay Thai training in the Philippines. It's where I live. Anyway, MAP, baby. It's the best.